as the matter of this coverage of SHG members under social security schemes is concerned, it was duly discussed even in the subcommittee meeting, and Director SERP, in fact, they have been extending all the support, and they have been sharing the data also to the banks. So the banks also express their desire and their preparedness to cover all the SHG members, individual members under the social security schemes. So let us take it to the saturation level so that these type of issues will not be repeated for the next set of meetings. The point number 4, as envisaged in the standardized system for data flow and its management, in fact the banks are supposed to submit the data on time so that we can conduct the meetings on time. Of course, this quarter's meeting was supposed to be conducted within 45 days, but because of the model code of conduct which was in existence for the in view of the local Lok Sabha elections, so we could not conduct within 45 days. But the data from the banks were received by 30th April. The last bank submitted on 30th April, which is supposed to be submitted by 10th April, that is for 31st March. Like for June, we are supposed to submit by 10th July, so that everything will fall in place. Will not be questioned by the controllers RBI and the other controllers also. Coming to the next point, is banks to achieve the benchmark parameters set out under PM's task force recommendations. In fact, a lot of discussion took place even in the EC MSME meeting at RBI, even in the subcommittee meeting of MSME. So in respect of achievement of benchmark parameters set out under PM's task force norms, banks have shown significant improvement under PM task force norm 2 and norm 3, whereas the norm 1, it has to be picked up further. The more concern is for the PM task force. So in fact, the detailed discussion we'll have in the coming slides also. Point number 6 is the reimbursement of VLR and Vadileni Runalu and Paula Vaddi Runalu. In fact, this is a long pending arrears of items which banks are supposed to get it. 725.18 crores is pending to be reimbursed to the banks by government of Telangana, and in fact during the quarter there is no significant development. So in point number 7 also is a pending issue. The Raitu Bandhu 2018, the check printing charges amount pertaining to that particular area 16.78 crores is to be reimbursed to the bank, which we have to get it from the government of Telangana. So here also there is no further development during the quarter. Point number 8 is reimbursement of RCT expenditure, of course, where it has to come from the rural Ministry of Rural from Government of India. It should be processed through the state government. So again, long pending amount of 16.78 crores, which was outstanding as on 31st December, is still outstanding, and no further development during the quarter. Point number 9, the banks to submit the data advised by the Election Commission. Of course, it was the issue which was discussed in December, and I am very thankful to all the banks, and I take this opportunity to thank all the banks that we got the information on daily basis from all the banks without exception, and we could carry the entire period of code of conduct very smoothly and comfortably from SLBC side. So my gratitude to all the banks. Absolutely, there was the journey was so smooth for the parliament elections. So coming to the other slide, the banking network, commercial banks, RRBs and cooperative banks together have a branch network of 6,415 branches in the state, and payment banks and small finance banks have a network of 122 branches and 44,232 BCs in the state. Review of operations, if you look at the BCs, so banks together have BC network of 38,743, of which 27,234 are in rural areas, mostly the unbanked rural centers. Out of these 9,522 BCs, that is 24.57% of BCs they are inactive, and this is in fact a matter of concern. Number of inactive BCs have gone up by 110 during the quarter, new additions. Further, Yes Bank has a share of 65.57% of total BCs, and has a share of 87.62% in the inactive BCs, both in the number of BCs and number of inactive BCs. The share is the major share is from the Yes Bank. In fact, in the subcommittee meeting also, Yes Bank is sensitized to bring down this number significantly. So there is an assurance from the bank. So I request Yes Bank to please look into this. During the quarter, the number of BCs have gone up by 243, mainly contributed by Yes Bank and State Bank of India. This is progress in increasing the digital modes of payment, ATMs and POS machines. So banks have ATM network of 9,397 ATMs as at the end of March 2024. And in respect of POS machines, banks have deployed 2,20,692 POS machines across the state. While number of ATMs have come down by 195 during the quarter. In fact, we have taken the responses from the individual banks, the reasons for coming down. The many banks, they conveyed that in view of the technical issues, these are just kept aside and they will be reactivated again. Hopefully, that number will come back in the current quarter. So, POS machines have gone up by 24,721 during the quarter. And the status of PMJDY accounts, the below table, it indicates that there are 1,17,94,720 accounts with the banks, with a net growth of 1,23,096 during the quarter. And 80.95% of the accounts are Aadhaar seeded, and RuPay cards are issued to 73.26%. Of course, the stipulation is we need to take them to 100% saturation level. Just calculated the average balance per account, including the zero balance accounts, which works out to 3,673. And if we exclude the zero balance accounts, the average works out to 4,407 rupees per account. Just for information, sir, this is the pan-India status of the PMJDY state-wise data. As far as the state-wise comparison in the concern, our state is in the 16th position. Not a welcoming thing, of course, among all the states. We are almost at the midpoint. Position with 33,759 PMJDY accounts per lakh of population. So this number has to go up. A lot of abundant potential for the opening of more and more accounts. Slightly positivity is slightly improved from 33,561 during the quarter. This is relating to the social security and insurance schemes, the progress as on 31st March. So far, banks have covered 1,51,88,020 beneficiaries under PMSBY insurance schemes, the 65,26,501 under PMJJBY, and under APY, Atal Pension Yojana, 19,20,645 beneficiaries are subscribed. During the quarter, PMSBY has grown by 4,37,000, PMJJBY by 3,02,000, and APY is 63,813. Overall, the achievement of under PM APY Atal Pension Yojana also we ended with 88% in the year. All the banks we missed 100%. We missed. In fact, PFRDA they are conducting the national level award program at the Delhi on 21st, and one more at for South Zone fill station program at Chennai on 28th. Maybe banks might have received the invitation from PFRDA. Some banks, in fact, they are getting the awards also. The banking at a glance, the priority sector lending. In fact, as on 31st March 24, banks have total deposits of 7,79,953 crores and advances of 9,79,058 crores. Deposits have gone up by 96,947 crores. In fact, I'm just taking the entire financial year. This is not only the March review, but we have completed successfully one financial year also, all the banks. In the entire year, deposits have gone up by 96,947 crores and advances have gone up by 1,65,162 crores. That is something amazing figure in respect of advances. CD ratio continues to be above 100%, sir. That is 126.25%, which is well above the national average. As far as the priority sector lending norms are concerned, the priority sector advances are at 36.76% of total advances, whereas agri advances at 17.10% of the total advances. Advances to micro enterprises are at 6.65% of the total advances, whereas the advances to weaker sections are at 13.02%. Against the stipulated RBI norm of 12%, the banks have achieved 13.02% to advances to weaker sections. This achievement of annual credit plan, the position as on 31st March 24. If we just look at the sector wise, during the financial year, banks have disbursed 64,940 crores as short-term production loans, together both Kharif and Rabi, and achieved 88.42% of the ACP targets. In fact, Kharif is 79.48% and Rabi is 101% achievement is recorded. Under investment credit to agriculture, the banks have disbursed 47,933 crores, achieving 121.88% of the ACP targets. Overall, under agriculture, banks have disbursed 1,12,875 crores and achieved exactly 100.10%. So we have not missed out the bus or the train this time, and we could achieve 100% in agriculture in all the subsectors. Banks have disbursed MSME loans amounting to 1,07,483 crores, achieving 197% of the ACP targets. Banks have disbursed total priority sector loans of 2,28,988 crores, achieving 123.56% of the ACP targets set for the previous year. And as far as the total credit plan is concerned, aggregating both priority and non-priority, banks disbursed 6,50,012 crores, achieving 267.74% of the ACP targets. This further credit flow to agriculture, the sector-wise, if we look at the public sector and private sector, in respect of credit flow to agriculture, public sector banks achieved 97.32% of the targets, whereas the private sector banks, they achieved 103.02%, and RRBs, they achieved 120.69%, and cooperative banks 77.79% of the ACP targets, with aggregate achievement of 100.10% in agriculture ACP target. The lower table, it indicates the KCC saturation campaign, applications received and disposed in the various categories as part of the KCC saturation drive during the year 23-24, the entire year's data. The further variants of KCC, the KCC to dairy farmers, if we look at the data, cumulative bank-wise data as well as the data during the financial year, both the factors are shown here. So banks have so far sanctioned 4,049 applications under KCC dairy out of 11,896 applications received. In fact, the rejections were large during the initial stages of this saturation drive, and subsequently the rejections have come down drastically. 298 applications are pending with banks for more than 15 days. Request all the banks to clear them so that the number will go up further. This is district-wise progress of KCC dairy data. Nizamabad district, they sanctioned highest number of applications during the year. And Nizamabad, the district is having 298 applications pending for more than 15 days. If they are also cleared, in fact, we are in very close touch with LDM Nizamabad. And of course, LDM in turn is in close contact with the respective banks. And so request all the banks to clear this pendency. Progress on the KCC to fish farmers. So banks so far have sanctioned 3,641 applications, and during the current financial year 23-24, out of 373 applications received, banks have sanctioned 316 applications. The sourcing is the main drawback towards what we are getting the data from the banks. If sourcing is there, banks are very much prepared, sir, to carry any number of applications as such. So there is, I request the fisheries department also that coordination meetings have to happen. Once in a week as per the stipulated norms. There is no pendency of applications for more than 15 days. So that is one beauty part. If we look at the district-wise, the progress of KCC fish farmers, highest number of applications sanctioned during the year in Siddipet district, 144. This is a pledge finance against warehouse receipts and also the joint liability groups, JLGs, the Bhumihin Kisan, as on 31st March. Under warehouse receipts and receipts financing, banks have outstanding loans of 85.64 crores sanctioned to 417 units. And in respect of JLGs, the joint liability groups, banks are having outstanding loans of 843.43 crores given to 2,77,160 accounts. This slide indicates the NPA position of outstandings and also the NPAs in respect of agriculture sector in respect of banks in the state of Telangana. So banks have outstanding agriculture loans of 1,39,199 crores, of which 5.44%, that is 7,566 crores are NPAs. And overall NPAs of agriculture sector positivity is they have slightly come down by 0.67% from 6.11% to 5.44% during the quarter. And in absolute terms, NPAs have come down by 557 crores during the quarter. Coming to micro, small and medium enterprises MSME, banks have disbursed 1,07,483 crores during the financial year 23-24, achieving 197% of the ACP targets. The achievement during the current financial year is much higher as compared to the previous year, where previous year's achievement was 174%, whereas this year the achievement is 197%. In all the three categories, that is micro, small and medium, ACP targets are achieved. If we look at the outstandings of MSME sector, outstandings of MSME advances grew by 21,258 crores during the financial year, entire year, after netting the repayments which are received by the banks. This is the bank linkage to MSME clusters. As per the data of clusters which is received from the MSME DI department, so the banks have covered all these clusters, and we have an estimated enterprise of 27,358 operating in MSME clusters across the state, and all the enterprises have been credit linked. Outstandings, if you look at the outstanding vis-a-vis the NPAs in respect of MSMEs, against outstandings of 1,19,374 crores with the banks, NPAs are to an extent of 5,934 crores, that is 4.97% of the outstandings. And NPAs have slightly come down by 0.26% during the quarter. Coming to the specific schemes, the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, PMMY, the performance, if we look at the data as on 31st March, under the PMMY, banks have sanctioned 10,905 crores to 9,40,862 beneficiaries, achieving 102% of the targets. The lower part of the table, it indicates the sector-wise achievement under PMMY. Private sector, they achieved 75.71%, of course on a higher target, and 6,333, 4,790, the target was 6,333 for PSBs, and the private sector 125 target is achieved, very well exceeded, RRB 71.31%. The category wise, again the progress report of PMMY, if we look at, the women enterprises, they are sanctioned 2,974.34 crores, whereas the new entrepreneurs, they are sanctioned 4,961.71 crores, 4,911.71 crores. Pan-India comparison just we made, where exactly we stand, the Telangana state. So among the states, we are at 22nd position with 2,706 sanctions per lakh of population. Much potential is available for the banks to improve the position further. In fact, the per lakh number was 2,373 in the previous quarter, and of course slightly it is improved. We have gone to 2,706. Coming to PM Stand Up India program, SUI, banks have so far sanctioned 11,811 Stand Up India loans, amounting to 2,804 crores as on 31st March 24. And during the quarter, 560 beneficiaries are sanctioned 104.46 crores. Again, we made a comparison, the Pan-India comparison among the other states. Our state is at 8th position in respect of number of account sanctions, that is 11,811, and at 7th position in respect of disbursed amount disbursed, that is 1,079.10 crores. And similarly, we are at 10th position among the states in respect of sanctions per lakh of population. So 36 per lakh of population is the status of PM Stand Up India. I just made the further analysis of this PM Stand Up India data. If we look at the loans, because PM Stand Up India can be sanctioned to either SC beneficiary or ST or the women entrepreneurs. So for SC, if we take, we are at the number 6th position, the state is at number 6th position in respect of accounts and amount 4th rank. And for STs, we are at number 1 position in respect of number of accounts. Pan India, we are at number 1 position for STs. And in respect of amount also, we are at number 1 position. Women, we are at account wise 11th position, amount wise at 8th position. So this is a further analysis of this Stand Up India data. If you look at the PM EG Employment Guarantee Program, under flagship program of Government of India. So under PMEGP, banks have sanctioned loans to 2,494 projects, achieving 85% of the targets in respect of projects and 113% in respect of the margin money targets. And among the southern states, there is a small comparison here among the southern states. The data indicates that we are at 3rd position in respect of margin money achievement. And NPA in PMEGP have slightly gone up from 5.56% to 5.58% in absolute terms, and the NPAs have gone up by 4.87 crores during the quarter in absolute terms. If we look at the bank-wise data of PMEGP, Telangana Gramina Bank has the highest achievement of 277% of the targets. Hats off and congratulations. 277 is amazing by 277%, followed by Bank of India 267%, equally great achievement, and TS CAB 123%. Agri Infrastructure Fund, the progress as on 31st March. Banks have cumulative target of 1,875 crores, against which 2,401.15 crores have been sanctioned by banks, thereby achieving 128.06% of the targets. And SBI has the highest sanctions of 538.74 crores, followed by Union Bank of India with 512 crores. And an amount of 963.52 crores is still pending to be disbursed with the banks. So if this is also disbursed, maybe the outstanding and sanctions also will go up further. PM FME, the Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises. So under PM FME, as against a target of 3,245, banks have sanctioned 3,502 units, achieving 108% of the stipulated targets. In respect of pendency, there is 1,838 applications are pending for sanction, of which 313 are for below 30 days and 214 are between 30 to 60 days, and 1,311 are of more than 60 days old. Some of them are even of 90 days old. Request all the banks to clear them, take a decision to sanction or not to sanction. Total pendency has come down from 2,361 to 1,838, a significant reduction in the pendency during the quarter. 730 applications are sanctioned, but disbursement is pending, and highest pendency is TGB, followed by Union Bank of India. So request all banks to clear the pendency. Southern states performance, if we look at under PM FME, we are in top position along with Tamil Nadu. That is we have shared the first position with Tamil Nadu with 96% of the targets achieved. This is another wonderful scheme, the PM Swanidhi, Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Bharat. So under PM Swanidhi Tranche 1, banks have sanctioned 90.29% of the applications, that is 4,20,902. And for the entire year, disbursements also work out to 89.63% of the sanctioned applications. And 43.47% of applications are returned by private sector banks. If we look at the bank-wise data of Tranche 1 of PM Swanidhi, SBI sanctioned highest number of applications, that is 1,78,294, followed by Union Bank of India with 1,02,180. And 72.12% of applications are returned by the HDFC Bank. Under Tranche 2 of PM Swanidhi, 2,09,121 applications are sanctioned by banks, which works out to 81.47%, of which public sector banks sanctioned 1,77,432 applications, and RRB sanctioned 12,822, and private sector banks sanctioned 603, and disbursed 79.65% of the application sanctioned, and 29.09% of applications are returned by private sector banks. If we look at the bank-wise data of Tranche 2, SBI sanctioned the highest number of applications, 98,674, that 92.97%, followed by Union Bank of India, 50,807, which works out to 77.90%. Under PM Swanidhi Tranche 3, 48,103 applications are sanctioned by banks, which is 81.45%, and disbursed 47,007 applications, which is 79.59% of the applications received. So this again the bank-wise data of the Tranche 3 of PM Swanidhi. SBI sanctioned highest number of applications, 19,986 at 95.53%, followed by Union Bank of India 14,965, 88.64%. Again, we made a comparison of Pan India, the PM Swanidhi. Under Tranche 1, we are at number 5 position, the 5th position. Telangana state is at 5th position. Tranche 2, we are at 3rd position. Tranche 3, we are at 3rd position. It's a great performance by the banks. The 3rd position among all the states is a great achievement. Maybe we can look for the number 1 position in the next quarter. Lending towards government sponsored schemes, further the credit flow under day NRLM SHGs for urban and the rural SHGs if we look at. So as far as the credit flow to rural SHGs are concerned, the banks have disbursed 15,453.19 crores, achieving 102.77% of the targets. And NPAs under rural SHGs have slightly come down from 2.63% to 2.26%, the positivity during the quarter. And in respect of urban SHGs, banks have disbursed 2,997 crores, achieving 160.97% of the targets. And NPAs under urban SHGs have also slightly come down from 4.35% to 4.08% during the quarter. This is bank-wise progress under SHGs, NRLM and also the NULM. It is shown separately in both the tables. Under SHG NRLM, Central Bank of India achieved the highest, that is 178.93%, followed by Canara Bank with 154.74%. Under NULM, Union Bank of India achieved the highest, that is 196.36%, followed by Canara Bank 185.91%. This credit flow under education loans, under priority sector education loans, banks have disbursed 784.97 crores, and under non-priority sector 2,330.34 crores during the financial year. 0.69% of the education loans are NPAs with the banks. Very encouraging, in fact, 0.69% is only the NPA. Under priority sector housing loans, the banks have disbursed 4,069.45 crores during the financial year, and 0.49% of the home loans are NPAs with the banks. Unbanked rural centers within the 5 kilometers radius, in fact, as on 31st December, DFS advised that there are only 3 URCs, and which are already taken up with the respective banks, and SBI arranged one CSP at Savati village, and Punjab National Bank at DOT, both of them they confirmed that there is no network at Ailapur village, and that is also informed to the DFS, and TGB conveyed that the new Raipur village submerged under the SRS project. So as at the moment, as on 31st March, there are no URCs which are pending, which are advised by the DFS as on 31st March in the state of Telangana. This is a TFIAP, the Targeted Financial Inclusion Intervention Program. As part of this, we have 3 aspirational districts which are identified by the DFS, Bhadradri, Kottagudem, Asifabad, Komaram Bhim, and Jaishankar, Bhupalpalli. If we just look at the data here, the progress made, achieved. In fact, this is data received from the DFS direct. A review of progress is done on key performance indicators of operative CASA accounts and PM JJBY, PM SBY, and APY enrollments against the benchmark targets in respect of these 3 aspirational districts. And great thing is all the 3 districts have achieved the benchmark targets under all parameters, except Asifabad district achieving only 94% in respect of PM SBY enrollments. Other than this, all others well exceeded 100%. Sir, yes. PM Adarsh Gram Yojana is also financial inclusion initiative to cover the public service. Yes, sir. This is APY performance. Under APY, banks have made 3,88,890 enrollments, achieving 85.21% during the year. Financial literacy initiatives, there are 80 FLCs in the state spreading financial and digital literacy among the general public. Yes, sir. These FLCs have conducted 5,848 camps during the year. And all the districts, 33 districts in the state are 100% digitally enabled, and one way or the other, the digital mode of transactions are being carried by these districts. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These already discussed, sir. These already discussed. This oil palm cultivation, so banks have outstanding loans of 109 crores, and during the financial year, banks have disbursed 40 crores. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, PMAY, so far subsidy of 1,624 crores has been passed on to 70,392 beneficiaries. The CD ratio, which I already conveyed, that 125.53% is the CD ratio recorded. So Dharani portal, whatever issues are being raised by the banks from time to time, they are being escalated to the technical team. 11 RCTs, they have trained 7,640 candidates during the year. These issues remaining DCC and DLRC. In fact, many LDMs are not conducted the DCC in view of the model code, and they will be completing during the course of this week. This timely submission of data, which is already discussed. Sir, one item, sir, which is added. In fact, this was not discussed during the subcommittee meeting also. Establishing of RCT at Peddapalli district. In fact, Peddapalli Nizamabad district. So the DCC, they have already given their consent, and they requested SLBC to give the consent. And Union Bank of India, in fact, they have come forward to open the RCT, sir. Peddapalli district. So I request the SLBC forum, if we can okay it, then UBA is prepared to open the RCT. They will start the process of it. Yes, sir. So in fact, my presentation comes to an end about the quarterly review of the performance. Sir, any other issues, sir, with the permission of the chair? Yeah, we will go for launching of 3. Sorry? So launch. In fact, the most important moment of this meeting has come now, and we will be launching the annual credit plan for all the banks in the state of Telangana for the year 24-25 with the golden hands of the Deputy Chief Minister, sir, and also the Agriculture Minister, sir. Both of them are here very much. So I request both of them to please launch the they're bringing. Sir, request So in fact, the path for all the banks for the next year is being presented in this booklet. So thank you so much, both the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, sir, and also the Honorable Minister for Agriculture for launching this annual credit plan, sir, for the banks and giving destination to the banks for this year. I'll quickly take you through the presentation. Very brief highlights about the credit plan if we look at. So in fact, the credit disbursement for the financial year 24-25, in fact, just only 2 lines I just wanted to say. We are much thankful to NABARD for providing the potential linked credit plans both at the district level and also at the state level, which have become the basis for preparing the district credit plans by the LDMs and aggregating all these and to come out with a state level the credit plan by the SLVC. Which we are presenting now, and basing on the district level plan we have prepared, and I'm just taking you to the slide. The credit disbursement for the financial year 24-25 projected at 6,33,777.48 crores against 2,42,775 crores for the previous year. So there is a phenomenal increase of 161.05% of the ACP target for this current year. Disbursal under priority sector advances for the financial year 24-25 projected at 2,80,550 crores against 1,85,327 for the previous year, with an increase of 51.38% for the current year. And disbursal under agriculture sector for the financial year is projected at 1,34,138 crores against 1,12,763 crores for the previous year, with an increase of 18.95%. For the current year. Short-term production credit is projected at an increase of 10.95%, amounting to 81,478 crores for the current year. And investment credit, agriculture term loans and allied activities, they are projected at 28,222 crores with an increase of 57.54%. Agriculture infrastructure funds, they are projected at 5,197.31 crores. With an increase of 13.91%, and agriculture ancillary activities are at 19,239.87%, 14.19% is the growth. Micro, small and medium enterprises are projected at 1,29,635.83 crores is projected and at an increase of 137.12%. This is all the projections are based on the potential which is identified, which is scanned, the geographical scanning which is carried by NABARD, and it is by and large it is mapped to the credit potential credit plan which is given by NABARD. In respect of other priority sectors, an amount of 10,768.59 crore is allocated to housing sector. Amount of 2,706.53 crore is allocated to education loans under priority sector only. Amount of 3,301.84 crores is allocated for the other sectors. So in a nutshell, this is the annual credit plan. The same thing whatever I presented now. This is also the other way of presentation. The same thing is given in the booklet also, which will be given to all of you. The ACP booklet will be given to you. Sir, just at a glance, if we see the major bank-wise the share of priority sector advances, sir, SBI has the highest share of 19.82% of the total ACP target which is being given, followed by Union Bank of India with 12.74% and HDFC Bank with 10.69%. The again bank-wise major share of total advances target of total ACP target of 6,33,777.48 crores. ACP projections for SBI are highest at 1,18,000, followed by HDFC at 12.22%, Union Bank at 11.21%. So these are some highlights. In fact, in the book we are given the bank-wise data, the district-wise data, sector-wise activity, all the other things are given, and wherever the targets are not received, like from KVIC we have not received the target, they are not incorporated in the register, maybe they will be communicated separately. So thank you so much, sir, for giving me these opportunities. Sir, vote.
Yeah, Thank you, Srihari, for the detailed presentation to this August forum on the 41st SLBC quarterly review and annual launch of the credit plan. And now I request Madam Chintala Susila, Chief General Manager NABARD, to share her thoughts to this August forum.
Good morning, everybody. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Shri Bhatti Vikramarka Garu, Honorable Deputy CM of Telangana, Shri Tummal Nageshwara Garu, Minister of Agriculture, Textiles, Marketing Cooperation, Shri Ramakrishna Rao Garu, Additional Chief Secretary, Shri Kamal Prasad Patnaik ji, RD RBI, Shri Rajesh Kumar ji, CGM SLBC President, Shri Mitra ji, SLBC Convener, and all the heads of various departments of government of Telangana and the senior functionaries and bankers. Very warm morning, and at the outset I would like to extend my hearty congratulations to SLBC and to all the bankers for having surpassed the targets that were set for last year 23-24, which is 123% of the target, and I think we all need applause for that. And all the more because of Telangana is celebrating a decade of its formation, and banks and NABARD, Reserve Bank of India, have been playing a very active and crucial role in the development of the state. That doesn't mean that we are satisfied. There's so much more to do, and I'm sure that with the convergence of initiatives of our bankers, NABARD, RBI and state government, we'll be able to take it forward on a better plane. Coming to NABARD, we have been supporting the state in various ways. One, by providing refinance both for production and LT credit, and very glad to say that 1.32 lakh crore was disbursed for the entire country for term loan, of which Telangana has contributed 7%. And we've also been providing concessional finance to cooperatives and RRBs so that the augmentation of credit at the ground level takes place at an affordable rate. Similarly, while, as I've already said, that while we acknowledge our progress, there is so much more to do. I'll just highlight the major areas that NABARD has been doing and what we have done during this year. NABARD has been a facilitator in promoting investment credit in agriculture allied activities. Towards this end, we have been coming up with unit costs year after year. And the other day, during the annual action plan of SERP, I was inquired whether we have the unit cost for dairy, because for SHGs, a plan has been launched by the state government, and we said yes, it is available for over a period of many years, and we have finalized the latest unit cost for the year 24-25 too. And we have brought in some 3-4 activities this year, that is in the fishery sector. Biofloc unit, circulatory aquaculture system were included last year. And I am very happy to state that SBI, HDFC Bank and Telangana Gramin Bank have come forward in supporting this kind of startup activity, and we have woven this activity around SHGs, and the state government has also observed the progress and the success of this program, and they have directed all the districts to take it forward as a pilot. Similarly, we brought out unit cost in farm mechanization. We have been taking cognizance of small and marginal farmers, affordability and the latest technology. So recently we came across a 3-wheeler battery operated farm mechanization vehicle which enables regenerative agriculture, and it is most suitable for small and marginal farmers. So this is how NABARD keeps on spotting what are the latest technologies available in the state or the country and how it can be launched in the state. And we not only support in the development of the technology, but we also take it forward by including it in the unit cost, and also conducting several workshops across the state to sensitize the bankers how to come forward and fund them. And we have an army of district development managers which have been on that front to take forward these kind of interventions. Coming to infrastructure support to state government, we have been actively engaged with the state government in funding under various funds, that is RIDF, NABARD infrastructure development assistance, the credit facility for federations for procurement operations, the direct refinance assistance, the DIDF fisheries infrastructure development fund, and happy to share that cumulative sanctions of 11,602 crores have been given under RIDF, 14,516 crore under NIDA, and 160 crore under DIDF as on 31st March 2024. And projects which have been sanctioned for infrastructure facilities broadly cover agriculture, irrigation, social and rural connectivity, Mission Bhagiratha, Kaleshwaram, micro irrigation, dairy infrastructure, government schools, oil palm area expansion in the state, construction of agriculture, college building, renovation, check dams, upgradation of rural roads, the list goes on. And this is how we contribute to the state capital formation, and it creates opportunities for the bankers also to fund the borrowers. I request the state government to please put forth some high value projects under RIDF this year, and also help in increasing the borrowing power, which is now pegged at 1,000 crores, whether it can be increased to at least 1,500 crores. Then to take forward the agriculture to a higher level, it's time to come up with agri-value chain financing, and we all do understand that this is the most sustainable and effective way of reaching a small and marginal farmer with the potential to benefit a significantly greater proportion of the entire rural population. Banks can benefit from such portfolio expansion and diversification by bundling and cross-selling these products, and agri-value chain financing may be thought of on the commodity-specific value chain, identifying the potential and challenges, and NABARD has been conducting workshops and also studies on these products. I think in Telangana we can concentrate on the turmeric, chili and the cotton value chain. Coming to financing of farmer producer organizations, we have contributed a lot in the promotion and strengthening of the farmer producing organization, and a lot more need to be done. We have about 380 FPOs, out of which about 160 have been credit linked, and we also provide credit guarantee for all the member level institutions, that is the banks, up to 2 crores through our subsidiary called NAPSAM Rakshan, and around 40 crores has been funded this year, and the leading banks have been SBI, HDFC, ABGVB, TGB, NAP Kisan, Kotak Mahindra Bank. And coming to Agri Infrastructure Fund, presentation has already been made, how it has been done. But before that, I would say that in March 2023, this AIF PMU was established, which is now right now housed in NABARD, but it has been established by the state government of Telangana through NAPCONS. And post setting up this unit, there has been a amazing development on this front. And when it comes to annual sanctions, Telangana state ranks second in the entire country. And when it comes to total sanctions, we are sixth. The figures have already been rolled out, that is, it is 2,400 crores, and the disbursement are to the tune of 14,1688 crore. And again, congratulations to SBI for leading the show, followed by UBI, HDFC and Canara Bank. When it comes to agriculture, I think we are not far away when it comes on the digital front. Development of AgriStack is nothing short of the next big revolution in the Indian rural economy. And as on date, 12 states have entered into an MOU with central government for AgriStack, and Telangana is one among them. And the status of implementation in Telangana is State Agricultural Department has prepared the crop registry and uploaded in AgriStack, and the department is also in the process of preparing a farmers registry. So we request the state government to give a push to this, and NABARD is ready to collaborate on this fund. Then climate change is a very big issue, and green financing is also in the forefront and is being discussed on a large scale across. And we have a bed of self-help groups and farmer producer organizations which we are proud of in the state of Telangana. Probably we should launch them as the warriors of climate change before we lose any time. And we in NABARD, we are the national implementing entity for adaptation funder under UNFCCC, GCF and National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change. And we have already collaborated with Asian Development Bank to tap climate capital to fund agri and natural resources. We have also come out with a green taxonomy, which is now being incorporated in credit assessment and tagging green projects. In Telangana, we have implemented 2 NAFCC projects on resilient agriculture households through adaptation to climate change and restoration of degraded landscape to natural state of ecosystem for climate resilience and livelihood improvement of vulnerable communities covering 10 districts of the state. So as on date, we have also supported 37 climate proofing projects in 20 districts covering an area of 4,838 hectares and about 6,000 beneficiaries, of which 12 are ongoing. Similarly, to address the challenges in the meat value chain, we collaborated with ICAR NRC Meat in Hyderabad for wholesome meat production and value addition for small and medium scale entrepreneurship development. And the same has resulted in prototype of Swachha Meat Van, a hygienic slaughtering unit for small ruminants, and Wow Hut, a composting unit for solid and liquid waste management. In the recently concluded unit cost committee meeting, we have also finalized the unit cost of this, and that can be covered by the banks under Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. Similarly, we have also collaborated with PJT SAU on direct seeding of rice through drones. So this is the first ever intervention in India, and now other states and governments are following. And the seed can be sprayed in 6 minutes in 1 acre, which leads to efficient system and also tackling the labor issues other than spraying of pesticides and fertilizers. Similarly, drone pilot training is something which needs to be taken up on a priority basis in the state. Then we have also taken up digital facilitation for enhancing profitability of farming community, wherein a collapsible van goes into the remote areas of the state and it collects soil samples, land use plan survey, irrigation, fertigation, capacity building and market linkage. We are given to understand that on similar lines, the Raitu Vedikas in the state are also being activated. And coming to support to startups, I think if we need quick and fast development in the agriculture, which is the need of the hour, very essential to collaborate startups with the agri front. And we have been taking up the issue with SLBC, and thanks a lot to Rajesh Kumarji and Mitraji for having included our idea of inviting the startups, AIDEA and Ag Hub to the SLBC meetings, and I'm sure this would sort of foster the bank linkage for the startups in future. Credit potential has already been announced by the officer of SLBC, so I will not reel out the figures. While the potential for 24-25 have been released, the work in NABARD for the year 25-26 has already started, the PLP work. So it's a year-long exercise at our end. A few things which I would like to highlight for the bankers and government departments is the achievement of targeted credit plan and credit deepening, particularly investment credit, may be followed up. Crop diversification by farmers for better income generation and credit support for processing sector may be highlighted. Telangana is the forerunner in the new oil palm mission, and oil palm has started yielding results in the state, and it has a huge potential for becoming the #1 state in the edible oil hub. So, and maybe on the lighter note, it also addresses the monkey menace in the state, this oil palm cultivation. And we have also come up with a startup which advocates low-cost greenhouse for vegetables, etc. Because when we go for field visits, we are often told that this menace has been not allowing them to cultivate vegetables. So this low-cost greenhouse would definitely be a savior for the farmers. It is heartening to note that the state government is taking steps to implement the crop insurance based on the PM Fasal Bima Yojana, as highlighted by NABARD in the earlier forums. And I also congratulate the government for coming up in a very large way for the SHG women on the lines of Mission Shakti. And this is where the heart of NABARD lies, and we see a lot of convergence between NABARD, the government and the banks too. And a food for thought that though we are achieving ACB targets, yes, we also need to focus on the end use of the credit, and also look at the block-wise disparity in the district, and banks to reach out to the pockets which are still untouched. So with the monsoons having set in, we pray that it augurs well for the state and bless our farmers with good crop and productivity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushila Madam, CGM NABARD, for your interesting and insightful speech. NABARD has always been in the forefront of rural and agriculture development in Telangana and rest of the country. And now I request Shri Kamal Prasad Patnaik, Regional Director, FIDD RBI, to share his thoughts to this August forum.
Honorable Bhatti Vikramarka Garu, Deputy Chief Minister, Sri T. Nageshwar Garu, Minister for Agriculture, Sri Ramkrishna Rao Garu, Special Chief Secretary Finance, Madam Sushila CGM from NABARD, Sri Rajesh Kumar CGM SBI, and all the distinguished guests in today's meeting. First of all, I must thank the convener bank SBI for launching this ACP today, and it's actually my first meeting having come from J&K region to this new state Telangana, which is already 10 years old. But I'm really privileged that the presence of the Deputy Chief Minister, the Minister for Agriculture, and the Special Chief Secretary, adds, the dignity, grace, and the weight to the importance attached to the SLBC meetings. I must congratulate both the NABARD and the SBI for bringing out a very ambitious ACP document, which I feel is a roadmap which a state like Telangana, which has just a 10-year-old, but on the path of a very rapid progress. I can say with my experience of 6 different states and stint abroad, Telangana has been, one of the most progressive state prior to bifurcations, but it created because some regions were not attended and some regions require focused attention, and that is actually what we see today in reality. Now, I was told that I will not speak about statistics and data because as already all my speakers before me has already discussed. But I will share my thoughts because we have just seen that world's biggest democratic exercises that has taken place. And we are really grateful that the presence of Deputy Chief Minister and the Minister of Agriculture, who represent the hopes, aspirations, and will of the people of Telangana, they are so committed and devoted for the uplift of particularly the citizens of Telangana and more so of the farmers. And being from RBI, from Central Monetary Authority, what could be our role, in this exercise, which is the SLBC, which is the highest forum in the state, where the government officials, the bankers, and the senior functionary of the government, the many chief ministers, deputy chief minister, everyone from the government is closely involved to chalk out their roadmap for the development. And I'm really happy. I was going through the foreword of this annual credit plan by Honorable Chief Minister Sri Revanta Reddy Garu. Actually, I'm greatly inspired by one of the statements which he laid out in the the third paragraph of his foreword. He says that any plan must actually explore human capabilities for betterment of the society. Now, Telangana, I know from my experience, is one of the agriculturally prosperous state, but it has a long roadway to go, long way ahead of it. Now, unless we innovate, unless we give preference to agripreneurs and the human capabilities which the Honorable Chief Minister is speaking, perhaps we cannot achieve. My reason being saying that we are all present in this room, we do not even constitute 1% of the population, not even 1%, maybe 0.1% of the population. We are going to decide maybe 60 to 67, 65% of the population who are not in the room. I am taking all over India figure. But similarly, if you can bring down to Telangana, maybe less than 1% of the citizens being in here, will be discussing about the fate or the future of nearly 60% of the citizens of Telangana, who may be farmers, who may be SME entrepreneurs, who may be small, business owners. But the Chief Minister has been very right that the state cannot progress unless we give everything to the entrepreneurs, particularly agripreneurs. He was straight on target. He says the state cannot move further unless we empower the women and the SHGs for the betterment society. What a powerful statement he has laid out. And I am sure that the state is on the path of a great future ahead of it, and being one of the newest states in the country, it has new capabilities to explore, new skill sets to acquire, and all of us, particularly those on the dais and not on the dais, have a great role to play, that SLBs as a forum is used as a means to identify bottlenecks, identify weaknesses, and to create an environment where I believe it is kind of in some state, it is a kind of a cart. I will give an example. This SLBC forum can create a bullock cart, can be a horse-driven cart. In the bullock cart, in the two bulls, one of the bull could be the government officials, the other bull could be the bank officials. And it is driven by the Honorable Chief Minister or the Deputy Chief Minister, everyone, how the state should be run. But I can say Telangana is a horse-driven cart, where one of the horses is the government officials, the another horse is the bankers, and NABARD being a knowledge provider, RBI being an economic policy framer, that we guide that this cart moves on the right directions. And wherever there is a deviation, the cart goes astray, the NABARD and the RBI and the government is there to put the cart on the right path. I am really happy the cart is on the right path, and I am really very happy that both the government officials and the bankers here have a very good relationship and very good liaison. And thanks to the role played by SLBC convener, I see the lot of vibes, lot of vibrancy in this room, and this state is really on the path of a bright future ahead. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity to share my thoughts.
Thank you, Kamal Prasad Patnaik, sir, Regional Director, FIDD RBI, for your very inspiring and interesting observations and encouragement given to this forum of bankers. And we will definitely keep up your inspiring words will be converted to action by us, and we'll definitely reach the goals set under the ACP. And here I now request Shri Tumala Nageshwar Rao Garu, Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Marketing, Cooperation, Handloom and Textiles, Telangana, to share his thoughts to this forum.
గౌరవనీయులు 41వ ఎస్ఎల్బిసి అదేవిధంగా యాన్యువల్ క్రెడిట్ ప్లాన్ కూడా ఈరోజు రిలీజ్ చేయటం, వేదిక మీద ఉన్నటువంటి పెద్దలు గౌరవనీయులు ఆర్థిక శాఖ మంత్రులు భట్టి గారు, ప్రియమైన మా సెక్రటరీ రామకృష్ణరావు గారు, కృష్ణ భాస్కర్ గారు, రాజేష్ కుమార్ గారు, పట్నాయక్ గారు, సుశీల్ గారు, మిత్రా గారు, ప్రియమైన కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొన్నటువంటి పెద్దలందరికీ, మిత్రులందరికీ హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారం. సంతోషం, మీ ప్రొజెక్షను చాలా ఆనందంగా అందరూ సంతోషపడేటట్టుగా మీ ప్రొజెక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అదేవిధంగా డిస్బర్స్మెంట్ దాని యొక్క ఫలితాలు కూడా అదే పద్ధతిలో రాబట్టేదానికి ఇప్పుడు పట్నాయక్ గారు చెప్పినట్లుగా ఒక పక్క ప్రభుత్వం, ఒక పక్క బ్యాంకర్స్ సమన్వయంతో ఆ ఫలితాలు ప్రజలకి, ఈ రాష్ట్రానికి దేశానికి అందించేటటువంటి ప్రముఖులు మీరు. ఈ సొసైటీలో క్రీమ్ ఏదన్నా ఉందంటే బ్యాంకర్స్లోనే ఉంటారు. మీరు ఈ దేశం యొక్క పునర్నిర్మాణం కావచ్చు, అభివృద్ధి కావచ్చు, భవిష్యత్తు కావచ్చు మీ చేతుల్లో ఉంది. దాన్ని అమలు చేసేటటువంటి మా అధికారులు, ప్రభుత్వం కూడా. ఇది యంగెస్ట్ స్టేటు, 10 సంవత్సరాల వయసు కలిగినటువంటి రాష్ట్రం. అనేక ఒడిదుడుకులకి, ఆటుపోట్లకి, పోరాటాలకి, ఇబ్బందులకి గురైనటువంటి రాష్ట్రం. మీకు తెలుసు, ఇది కేవలం భూగర్భ జలాల మీదనే ఆధారపడి వ్యవసాయం చేసేటటువంటి కాలమాన పరిస్థితుల్ని అనుకూలించక ఈనాడు కృష్ణానది జలాలు మీరు చూస్తున్నారు, గోదావరి జలాలు తీసుకునే దాంట్లో ఇబ్బందులు కూడా మీరు చూస్తున్నారు. కేవలం వర్షాధారం తప్పితే చిన్న చెరువులు, కుంటలు తప్పితే భూగర్భ జలాల మీదనే ఆధారం. వీటిని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని ఈ వ్యవసాయ రాష్ట్రాన్ని కొత్తగా ఏర్పడ్డటువంటి రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారి ప్రభుత్వం ఏ రకంగా సక్రమైనటువంటి పద్ధతిలో, సరైనటువంటి రీతిలో ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్ళటానికి మీ సహాయ సహకారాలు అవసరం అని చెప్పి మేము భావిస్తా ఉన్నాం. గతంలో కూడా ఇరిగేషన్కి సంబంధించి కోటయ్య గారు నబార్డ్ చైర్మన్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు మీడియం ఇరిగేషన్ ప్రాజెక్టులు ఒక 30 ప్రాజెక్టులు ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో కంటిన్యూగా పెండింగ్లో ఉండి 30 సంవత్సరాలు వాటికి అతిగతి లేకపోతే ఆయన గారిని అడిగితే ఒకేసారి 300 కోట్లు ఇస్తే 30 ప్రాజెక్టులు పూర్తి చేసినటువంటి చరిత్ర ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో ఉంది. అదేవిధంగా లిఫ్ట్ ఇరిగేషన్స్ కావచ్చు, వ్యవసాయానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి నబార్డ్ సేవలు కానీ, అదేవిధంగా మొన్ననే నేను చెప్పాను గ్రామీణ బ్యాంకు సేవలు గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాలు విస్తరించిన తర్వాతనే కొంతవరకు రైతాంగం వెసులుబాటుకు వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు మీ శాఖలు కూడా నాకు తెలిసి 6,415 ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో ఉన్నాయని చెప్పారు. కానీ రూరల్ ఏరియాలో మాత్రం కేవలం 1,874 ఉన్నాయి. ఇంకా సంతోషం, LWE అంటే ఎక్స్ట్రీమిస్ట్ ఏరియాలో కూడా ఎక్కువ ప్రాంతాన్ని కవర్ చేశారని చెప్పారు. దానికి ధన్యవాదాలు కూడా తెలియజేస్తున్నాం. తప్పకుండా గిరిజన ప్రాంతం, గోదావరి పారివాహక ప్రాంతంలో అటవీ ప్రాంతం కావచ్చు, గతంలో అనేక సమస్యలతోటి ఆ ప్రాంతానికి మన సేవలు అందలేదు. ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో మీరు ఆ ప్రాంతాన్ని కవర్ చేశారు. అది అసిఫాబాద్ కావచ్చు, భద్రాచలం కావచ్చు, అదేవిధంగా పెద్దపల్లి, జయశంకర్, భోపాలపల్లి ఆ జిల్లాలు ఈరోజు ఊపిరి పీల్చుకునే స్థితికి మీ బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ వచ్చింది. కాబట్టి దానికి అభినందనలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాం. అదేవిధంగా భారత ప్రభుత్వం కానీ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ప్రవేశపెట్టినటువంటి సోషల్ సెక్యూరిటీ, ఇన్సూరెన్స్ పథకాలు ఇంకా ప్రజలకి అవగాహనకి వెళ్లాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. వాటి టార్గెట్స్ను కూడా మీరు పెంచుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. వాటి వల్ల లబ్ధి పొందేదానికి, ఆ సబ్సిడీ పథకాలు అనుభవించేదానికి ప్రజలందరికీ వెసులుబాటు ఇవ్వాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. అదేవిధంగా మీ ప్రొజెక్షన్లో 161% ఇంక్రీజ్ చూపించారు ఈ సంవత్సరం. కానీ అగ్రికల్చర్కి నాకు తెలిసి 57% వచ్చింది. అందుట్లో అగ్రికల్చర్ సెక్టార్కి, అదేవిధంగా ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్కి, యాన్సిలరీ యాక్టివిటీస్కి కేవలం 14%, 13% ఉంది. వాటిని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. మీ ప్రొజెక్షన్లో 161% కను మా రంగాలకు వచ్చేసరికి బాగా తగ్గిందనేది నా అభిప్రాయం. వాటిని ఆర్బీఐ యాడ్స్టిక్స్ అంటే ఆర్బీఐ నిబంధనలకు అనుగుణంగా చేస్తున్నామని చెప్పొచ్చు. మీరు ఆర్బీఐ కూడా ఆలోచన చేయాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. ఈ కింది సెక్టార్లకి మీరు ఎక్కువ సహాయం ఇతోధికంగా ఇవ్వాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. అదేవిధంగా బ్యాంక్ కంట్రోలర్స్ అందరూ కూడా ఈ యొక్క మీరిచ్చినటువంటి లోనింగ్ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్నీ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వానికి సక్రమమైనటువంటి పద్ధతిలో, సరైనటువంటి పద్ధతులు అందిస్తే మాకు ఇంకా వెసులుబాటు ఉండే అవకాశం ఉంది. మా పథకాలకి కరెక్ట్గా రేపు రైతు భరోసా కావచ్చు, లేదా రైతు బీమా కావచ్చు, అదేవిధంగా ఇన్సూరెన్స్ పథకాలు కావచ్చు, మీ యొక్క డీటెయిల్స్ మాకు సక్రమంగా సరైనటువంటి పద్ధతిలో రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వానికి అందివ్వాలని చెప్పి మిమ్మల్ని కోరుతా ఉన్నాం. అదేవిధంగా చింతాల గారు చెప్పారు, ఆయిల్ ఫామ్కి సంబంధించి గతంలో ఏపీకి ఒక్కదానికే పర్మిషన్ ఉండేది. మేము గత కొద్ది రోజుల క్రితం తెలంగాణ ప్రాంతానికి కూడా పర్మిషన్ తెచ్చుకున్నాం. ఇంతకుముందు ఒక ఖమ్మం జిల్లాలోనే అవకాశం ఉండేది. ఇప్పుడు తెలంగాణలో ఉన్న 31 జిల్లాలు కూడా ఆయిల్ ఫామ్కి అనుకూలంగా కార్యక్రమం మొదలుపెట్టాం. పెద్ద ఎత్తున కనీసం ప్రతి సంవత్సరం 1,00,000 ఎకరాలు ఆయిల్ ఫామ్ సాగు చేసేదానికి అవకాశం తీసుకున్నాం. దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి కార్యక్రమాలన్నీ కొనసాగుతున్నాయి. అన్ని బ్యాంకులు కూడా మీరు ఇచ్చిన దాంట్లో ఆర్ఐడిఎఫ్ కింద 221 కోట్లు మీకు ఇస్తే అందుట్లో 18,000 మందికి రైతులకు ఆయిల్ ఫామ్ సాగు చేపట్టారు. అందుట్లో మీరు ఇచ్చినటువంటి సహాయం 50 మంది ఉన్నారు. 18,000 మంది రైతులు ఆయిల్ ఫామ్ సాగు ప్రారంభిస్తే బ్యాంకులు ఇచ్చినటువంటి సహాయం 50 మందికి ఉంది. అది మీరు ఒకసారి గమనించాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. మా రామకృష్ణరావు గతంలో ఉన్నటువంటి పెండింగ్ మొత్తం అగ్రికల్చర్ సెక్టార్కి సంబంధించిన డ్రిప్ కాబట్టి ఇంకా ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ సంబంధించినటువంటి పెండింగ్ బిల్స్ అన్నీ కూడా ఆయన గారు శాంక్షన్ చేస్తున్నారు. కాబట్టి ఆయిల్ ఫామ్కి కావాల్సింది డ్రిప్ ఇరిగేషను, ఆయనకి 3 సంవత్సరాలు అది పంటకు వచ్చే లోపల అతని వెసులుబాటుకు కావాల్సినటువంటి పెట్టుబడి కూడా మేము ఇస్తున్నాం. సబ్సిడీ సుమారు 50,000 ప్రతి ఎకరానికి ఇచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంది. రేపు రాబోయే కొద్ది రోజుల్లోనే ప్రతి జిల్లాలో కూడా ఆయిల్ ఫామ్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ వచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంది. చాలామంది రైతులు ముందుకొచ్చేస్తున్నారు. కాబట్టి ఆ పంట ఇప్పుడున్న అన్ని పంటల్లో కంటే మేలైనటువంటి దిగుబడితోటి పాటు రాబడితోటి పాటు ఇప్పుడున్నటువంటి ప్రకృతి వైపరీత్యాలకు దూరంగా ఉండేటటువంటి అవకాశం ఉంది. ఇందాక మేడం గారు చెప్పినట్లుగా కోతులతోటి భయం లేదు, తుఫాన్లతోటి భయం లేదు, అదేవిధంగా దొంగలతోటి భయం లేదు. మార్కెటింగ్ ఇమ్మీడియట్గా మేమే తీసుకెళ్లి ఫ్యాక్టరీలో ఇమ్మీడియట్గా తెల్లారి ఆయన అకౌంట్లో పైసలు వేస్తున్నాం. ఆ పంటకు సంబంధించినటువంటి అడిస్టిక్స్ అన్నింటినీ కూడా తప్పించి ఎంతవరకు వీలైతే అంతవరకు ఆయిల్ ఫామ్కి సంబంధించినటువంటి వ్యవసాయాన్ని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం అనుకూలమైనటువంటి రాష్ట్రంగా మీరందరూ గ్రహించి దానికి హితోధికమైనటువంటి సహాయ సహకారాలు అందించాలి. దానికి కావలసినటువంటి సపోర్ట్ మొత్తం కూడా మా ఫైనాన్స్ మినిస్టర్ గారు చూస్తున్నారని చెప్పి కూడా విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాం. అదేవిధంగా ఫుడ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ యూనిట్లు ఎక్కువ ఉంటే మనం పండించేటటువంటి హార్టికల్చర్ పంటలన్నీ కూడా వ్యర్థం కాకుండా ఉంటాయి. దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి ప్లాన్ మళ్ళీ మీరు ఇచ్చినటువంటి ప్రొజెక్షన్స్లో తూచా తప్పకుండా ఈ ప్రాసెసింగ్ యూనిట్స్ కానీ వ్యవసాయ అనుబంధ రంగాలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలు యానిమల్ హస్బెండరీ కావచ్చు, అదేవిధంగా అన్నిటికీ మీరు హితోధికంగా సాయం చేయాలని చెప్పి మీ అందరికీ విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాం. ముఖ్యంగా మనందరం ఆలోచన చేయాల్సింది, దశాబ్దాలుగా అన్ని ప్రభుత్వాలు రైతే రాజు రైతే వెన్నెముక అని చెప్తున్నాం, నడుస్తూ ఉంది. కానీ కొన్ని ఫిగర్స్ చూస్తే భయం వేస్తుంది. కొన్ని మల్టీనేషనల్ కంపెనీలు కావచ్చు, కొన్ని సంస్థలు కావచ్చు, వ్యవస్థలు కావచ్చు, ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఏజెన్సీలు కావచ్చు, 1,000 కోట్లు 1,00,000 కోట్లు మన బ్యాంకుల దగ్గర నుంచి తీసుకొని ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు మనుషులు కనపడట్లేదు. మీకున్నటువంటి నిబంధనల ప్రకారంగా ఇస్తే ఇన్ని 1,00,000 కోట్లు వాళ్ళు ఏ రకంగా ఎగ్గొట్టగలుగుతున్నారు అనేది సామాన్య ప్రజల మస్తిష్కంలో ఉండేటటువంటి ప్రధాన సమస్య. అంటే మీ మీద ఉన్నటువంటి విశ్వసనీయత కూడా తగ్గే పరిస్థితి ఉంది. బ్యాంకులు ఇన్ని 1,000 కోట్లు ఒకే వ్యక్తులకి ఇన్ని 1,00,000 కోట్లు ఏం పెట్టుకొని ఇచ్చారు? ఇప్పుడు నేనంటే ట్రాక్టర్ తీసుకోవాలంటే నా భూమి పెట్టుకొని తీసుకుంటున్నా, కట్టలేకపోతే నా భూమి మీదకి ఏలానికి వస్తున్నారు. ఈ మల్టీనేషనల్ కంపెనీలు, ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ కంపెనీలు అన్నీ కూడా ఎన్పీకి ఎన్సీఎల్టీకి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ అదే కుటుంబంలో వాళ్ళు 1,000 కంపెనీ ఆస్తిని 100 కోట్లు కొంటున్నారు. హౌ ఇట్ ఈజ్ పాసిబుల్? ఏ రకంగా జరుగుతుంది? ఆ ఫిగర్స్ చూసి ఎగ్గొట్టిన వాళ్ళని చూసి మేము కూడా దానికి అలవాటు అవ్వాల్సిన పరిస్థితి వస్తుంది. కాబట్టి దయచేసి ఇటువంటి డిస్పారిటీ ఉండకుండా, పేదలకు ఒక న్యాయం పెద్దలకు ఒక న్యాయం కాకుండా అందరికీ సమానమైనటువంటి రీతిలో ఈ వ్యవస్థ పనిచేయాలనేది నాకు ఆకాంక్ష. కాబట్టి దయచేసి వాళ్ళని వసూలు చేసే స్థితిలోనన్నా ఉండాలి. వాళ్ళ యొక్క ఆస్తులు మీరు నా భూమి తాకట్టు పెట్టుకొని మీరు ఇచ్చినప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఏం తాకట్టు పెట్టుకొని అన్ని 1,000 కోట్లు 1,00,000 కోట్లు ఇచ్చారని చెప్పి ప్రజలు మమ్మల్ని అడుగుతున్నారు. ప్రజల దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఆ ఈము పక్షులోళ్ళు ఉన్నారు, 15 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం వాళ్ళకి లోన్ ఇచ్చాం, వాళ్ళకి బైబ్యాక్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేయలే. ఒక ప్రైవేట్ కంపెనీ వాడు బైబ్యాక్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేసుకొని పైసలు ఇవ్వకుండా వెళ్ళిపోయిండు. ఆ పక్షులు నీళ్ళు అడవిలోకి వదిలిపెట్టాల్సిన పరిస్థితి వచ్చింది మార్కెటింగ్ లేక. వన్ టైం సెటిల్మెంట్ చేయండి అయ్యా బాబు అని వాళ్ళు 15 సంవత్సరాలు బట్టి తిరుగుతున్నారు. మనోళ్ళు దాన్ని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. నేననేది ఏంటంటే న్యాయం, ధర్మం, రూల్స్ ఉంటాయి, ప్రొసీజర్స్ ఉంటాయి, పద్ధతులు ఉంటాయి, కానీ మానవీయ కోణం కూడా ఉంటుంది. ఆ మానవీయ కోణాన్ని మీ విధులకి భిన్నం కాకుండా, మీ బాధ్యతలకు భిన్నం కాకుండా, మీ నిబంధనలకు భిన్నం కాకుండా ఈ యొక్క ప్రజల్ని సక్రమైనటువంటి రీతిలో మీరు ఆలోచన చేయాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. మన వ్యవస్థల మీద విశ్వసనీయత ఉంటే అందరం కూడా రేపు అతి కొద్ది రోజుల్లోనే తెలంగాణలో మార్పు తెచ్చుకునేదానికి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి దయచేసి అందరం ఆ ఆలోచన చేసి ఈ రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వ కార్యక్రమాలకి రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ప్రవేశపెట్టేటటువంటి మా భట్టి గారు ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఏమంటారు ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఇది ఇబ్బంది ఉన్నా అన్నీ కూడా క్రమశిక్షణతోటి పోవాలని చెప్పి ఈ రాష్ట్రాన్ని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్ళడం కోసం రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం చేసే ప్రతి చర్యకి తోడ్పడాలని చెప్పి మిమ్మల్ని ప్రార్థిస్తూ సెలవు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Sri Nageshwara Garu, for sharing your thoughts and concerns. And we have noted the same, and we will take it forward through this forum for the development of the state. Now I request Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Sri Bhatti Vikramarka Garu to address this gathering.
Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Sri Hon'ble Nageshwara Garu, and our Special Chief Secretary Finance, Government of Telangana, Sri Ramakrishna Rao Garu, Sri Rajesh Kumar Garu, Chief General Manager, State Bank of India, Kamal Prasad Patnaik Garu, Regional Director, Reserve Bank of India, Srimati Chintala Sushila Garu, CGM NABARD, and other dignitaries on the dais, and the respective bankers of various banks. I appreciate and welcome all of you for conducting this SLBC timely and with a positive approach. I am very happy to note the positive performance of the banks during the financial year 2023-24 in various segments of priority sector advances. Though there are a little bit discrepancies, but by and large, it is more appreciable. Another interesting item to observe in CD ratio of the state stands at 125.53%. I'll come to the CD ratio of the issue, the end of my speech. And also it is appreciable that priority sector lending targets are achieved to an extent of 123.56% of targets during the year. As you all aware, as our Honorable Minister also mentioned very clearly to Sri Tumal Nageswara garu, the state is very young and it is a very fast developing, growing state also. And it's a very progressive state also. And it has a very good qualities of attracting many industrial houses to the state. Like you have a beautiful outer ring road, international airport, all kinds of universities, very good skilled based institutions, lots of human resources to cater the needs of industrial houses, cosmopolitan, and no language problem also, and good weather. So everyone is trying to come to Hyderabad and Telangana to establish and set up their business houses. So no state can develop, nor no society can develop without a proper positive bankers. The lending is any state's future depends upon the good lending. This society has transformed very well from I think Telangana state was full of money lenders once upon a time. It has been transformed into a beautiful commercial bank lending, where with a less rate of interest and proper approach, with a priority sector lending, with a social responsibility. So lending is the main thing for development of any state. So our state SLBC, I request and expect that you too be a very benevolent and reasonable in lending the money to the various industrial houses and middle class poorer sections also, so that the state can really grow in a better way and it can compete with all the progressive states of the world, not only the country. And you all aware, the state, the present government, Indiramma Rajyam, with a social human face, very focused and agro-based, and also core industry, software industry, hardware parks, and all other industrial clusters also we are planning. Apart from the existing outer ring road, we are also planning a very long and lengthy regional ring road also, while connecting all the districts of the state. That really changed the face of the state. Urban, semi-urban, and rural area. 3 areas we are planning to develop in different clusters to attract the many other industrial houses also to the state. I request the bankers to be very, aggressive in lending to these kind of sectors, like particularly pharma industry, which is coming very fast to the state, and also like housing industry, and even agro-based industries also we are planning so that it can encourage the farming community. And also we are trying to develop the Musi river front to face the city of Hyderabad on the lines of Thames River, which is there in London. We are focusing very seriously on this project. All along the Musi River, we want to develop the clusters of various activities of the business and the entertainment also. So in future, we are all dreaming the state of Telangana in such a way with a proper mix of agro and industrial development with a growth of on par with any other developing countries or developed countries. So I request all the bankers to plan your proper lending in, at least in the fourth year, 2024 and 25, 26 also, to the state of Telangana to become one of the fast growing states in India. Various development initiatives are being taken up by our government. State government has prioritized the growth of agriculture sector through various initiatives such as the Raitu Bharosa scheme, investment support, bonus to farmers for certain eligible crops, implementation of major and medium irrigation projects, 24/7 free power to agriculture sector, etc., etc. These initiatives are resulting in an increase in the share of agriculture and allied sectors. Increase of paddy production is enabling the state to emerge as one of the major suppliers of the paddy to the Food Corporation of India, and now apart from the Food Corporation of India, now the Government of India is also encouraging the ethanol process to blend ethanol in the petroleum products. So any amount of paddy production and maize production can absorb by the industrial houses. So no problem at all in future. Like earlier, previous years, we used to, farmers used to come on the roads by demanding the state governments to procure their products. But now there is no problem at all, because there is a lot of demand for not only food corporation, food grains, apart from the other industrial usages like ethanol products and all that. To support, as our Honorable Minister, Agriculture Minister, Sri Tummal Nageswara, what he expressed, like, oil palm cultivation in the state, the government is extending all needed support for taking up this farming activity. There was a, earlier there used to be a lot of, pending financial support to the farming sector and even the horticulture sector. Now our government has taken a decision of not to keep in a single pie also pending for the agriculture production or to support the farming community. That's the reason we immediately cleared more than 100 crores the oil palm industry, whatever the bills are pending. In future also we want to encourage, like, poly houses, drip irrigation, sprinklers, and even mechanization of farming also we wanted to encourage so that the production can increase without much burden on the farming community. And also, as you said, as you said, even in your book also you mentioned the oil palm industry. The Government of India notified potential area of 3.29 lakh hectares, 8.14 lakh acres in 25 districts of Telangana, apart from already notified area. That means the Telangana state is a very potential state to develop the oil palm industry. So I request bankers to come forward comfortably and lend the money for these kind of farming activity. And also business-friendly policies of the proactive measures being taken by the government to facilitate business are creating a conducive environment that will augment industrial growth in the state. The state has been making continuous effort for the growth of the industrial sector through its innovative policies, which are resulting in increased investments and employment opportunities. The MSME sector is one of the highest employment generating sector in the state. I request the banks to extensively lend and support the small business and street vendors. Though the state government is extending subsidies to various sections of the society, institutional credit to wider sections of the society, more particularly the weaker sections, is essential for overall development of the society. As I see your book, the priority sector lending and other lending like weaker sections lending, though you have mentioned that you are comfortably reached the targets, but I see it is not that appreciable also in these lendings. In some of the SC Finance Corporation lending, they have even to the extent of writing letters to the bankers of sending them their subsidy amount back is something alarming. The SC Corporation has forwarded the granular data on ungrounded units for which subsidy has already been released and requested banks to return the unspent subsidy portion. Generally, the banks have to demand the state governments to send your subsidy amount at the earliest, but it is vice versa. So I request the banks to have a social responsibility and with a human touch. And also, if you see other areas, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana scheme, there also some of them have not reached their targets, like 75%, 71% only, public sector banks. But whereas private sector, 125.43%, which is vice versa. Generally, private sector banks, they don't come forward. But nationalized banks, here if you see, it is only 75%, the book which you have given to me. So that's where we all have to concentrate more and more. And even RRBs also, regional rural banks, theirs is only 71%. So these things are really, making us to feel little worried. And also, other things like, social, the public sector undertaking banks in the sense, nationalized banks, the Government of India, the then Government of India nationalized them for a specific purpose of you becoming the part of the growth of this nation by lending to the needy people also. This is where I think we all have to concentrate. And the CD ratio also. National banks deposit somewhere around 4,17,000 crores. Whereas private banks, generally people, they think twice to go to the private banks. But whereas here in Telangana, it is touching near 3,07,000 crores. there is no much difference between nationalized banks and the private banks. That means people are going towards the private banks. And the branches also, if you see, the nationalized banks are having more number of branches, 3,134 branches. And whereas the private banks are very less in number, 1,741 branches only. With this less branches itself, they have collected the deposits of 3,00,000 crores, is something where the nationalized banks have to think seriously. We have to go for more marketing of making them people to deposit their deposits, and we have to create more confidence about the nationalized banks and all. Why? Because the private banks, they don't have much, they might be doing lending and priority sector lending might be touching, but social banking they are not touching at all. Private banks, only nationalized banks only are doing their level best. So we have to be more, you have to take the more share of the society in collecting the deposits also. Towards empowering women and a better society, I urge the banks to extensively lend to women and self-help groups and continue to surpass the targets set for lending to self-help groups. Here I wanted to request my Chief Minister, Sri Revanth Reddy Garu, and the entire cabinet is thinking very seriously about the self-help groups. Self-help groups are going to be our lifeline for the state development tomorrow. We are planning in such a way, not less than minimum of 20,000 crores in a year. We want the bankers to lend money, the interest-free loans, whereas the total interest will be borne by the state government. And we request the bankers to extend full-length support in these schemes so that, why we are focusing seriously means other social support systems where you have a more number of NPAs. But whereas in self-help groups, you don't have much NPAs at all. Your recovery percentage is very high. It is because the self-help group members are having a total support system right from each group to the state level. So everywhere the self-help group members are being trained, guided and motivated also to make use of the money whatever they are getting from the banks and the support from the state government. So they are doing good business and paying back also to the bankers. So it is going to be a very safe lending even for the banks also, and it's a good thing even for the society also. So we request you to extend more support to the self-help group members. In these 5 years, we want to reach the target of 1 lakh crores rupees to the self-help group members of the state. So I request all the bankers to plan and think seriously about in these lending. And also banks have been doing commendable service in the financial inclusion area, and I request the banks to continue their focus on financial initiatives, ensure saturation in opening of PMJDY and coverage of beneficiaries under social security as well as the insurance schemes also. I congratulate the convener of Bank, State Bank of India, which is our main bank. Other banks, lead district managers and departments involved in launching of annual credit plan, and I am sure banks will strive to achieve the credit plan targets for the current financial year of 2024-25. I wish you all the best. While concluding, I have few more things to bring to your notice, like, the present government even thinking of going for the affordable housing and weaker section housing also very seriously. Indirama housing scheme for homeless people, for each house 5 lakh rupees that we are planning. So not less than 4,50,000 to 5 lakh houses we want to construct in every financial year. So I request there also you can think about it. And RIDF, as our madam requested the state government to take more, from 1,000 crores to 1,500 crores. Yes, definitely, madam, we'll take your advice and suggestion. We'll try to take 1,500 crores RIDF for a better cause of the society. And also, I'm going to assure you, the Telangana state is one of the states where you don't have a power problem at all, electricity. 24/7 we are giving the power. And we are coming out with a proper new energy policy also. So that even in future also, though good number of industries and business houses, even if they come more in large number also, where will not be having any power problem at all in the state. I am assuring you this on behalf of the state government that power is going to be surplus in the state, and that's going to be one of the major reasons for the development of the state also. So you can assure, as bankers, whoever comes to you, and industrial houses, Hyderabad the Telangana is the state where you don't have a water problem, where you don't have a power problem, where you don't have a human resources problem, where you don't have a language problem, where you don't have any problem at all. There is a destination for the country and the world also. This is what you can, on behalf of the state government, you can make a suggestion to all the industrial houses who are coming. And the state is a very friendly government with the bankers, and even in the recovery also, not only the lending, even the recovery also. I know we understand your major problem will be recovery only. Even in recovery also, we are here to extend all our support and cooperation to the bankers. But our request is to see to that you reach your targets: priority sector lending, welfare lending, industrial lending, and other, wherever you have any other innovative lending, please go ahead, and the state is with you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Bhatti Vikramarka Garu, for sharing your vision on the development path of the state, and what the message you have conveyed will be taken forward by SLBC and the banks. And thank you once again to both the ministers for sparing their valuable time, honorable ministers for sparing the valuable time and sharing the thoughts.